everyone, welcome to another review room tutorial. Today we're continuing our discussion about forms. So what we're going to talk about today is a couple of the options that you can set up on forms in terms of validation. Now, one of the more typical things that you'll see when setting up a review room form or would want to do is to set a limit on the number of characters that individuals can type. So if you clicked on this one question, for example, and then let's say that you wanted the user to only be able to type in 500 characters. In order to do that, you would put in something like limit of 500 characters only. And as soon as you put that in, now you actually want to set the limit. So that's just an extra description, some discussion that you're putting in there. If you go to the options section, under validation, what you'll be able to do is click on all characters. That means you can allow them to type in anything, but let's limit the length between 0 and 500 characters. And then you can actually even customize the error message and say 500 characters only. So as soon as you type that in, you can press save and that will apply. Now the other thing that's pretty important is the branching and skipping options. So sometimes you may want to skip over certain pages based on what a user replies. Now there's a more advanced option to this as well, but I'm going to show you the simple one. And I'm also going to show you where you can find information about the more advanced one. So for the simple one, you can select a question and then say, if someone chooses 2 years ago, then send them to page 2 when they press the next button. If they choose 3 years ago, then what you can do is send them to page 3. So based on their answer, you can send them to a specific page. This way you can create customizable forms for your users. Now, the other thing that you can do is use our advanced branching options. And in order to do that, let's show you something specific. Let's go to page 4. I'll add one more page, and let's throw in a yes or no question. Okay, and it'll be pretty simple. I'll just say, would you like to give us your email address? And afterwards, let's throw in a text response question called email address, right? So whenever you're trying to do anything advanced in this form builder, you should click on that question and give it an identifier. So this question, I'm going to click it. For the identifier, I'm going to say yes, no, right? Let's just call it that. Then go to the Page tab, and in the Page tab, click on Edit Survey Logic Rules. Then you can add a branching logic rule and select yes, no. And you can do really fancy things here, add multiple conditions, drag and drop them and all that, but let's stick to the simple stuff. What we did originally, yes or no. If yes or no equals yes, then show a question, and we're going to show the email address question. So let me save that, save here, click on preview and show you what that looks like. So when you first look at the page, something interesting happens. It shows this question, but that text response question beneath doesn't show, because we put in a branching condition that says only show that question if someone chooses yes. So if I click on yes, now you see that question shows up. If I click on no, that question doesn't show up. So you can do dynamic branching like this, or multi-condition branching, using the advanced branching interface. And again, just to remind you, if you want to use the advanced branching interface, it's as simple as giving that particular question an identifier, and again, you click on the question and you give it an identifier, and as soon as you do, then you are qualified to do fancy things with that question. So go to the Page tab, Edit Survey Logic Rules, bring up this interface, and do your magic. Now there are a lot of things you can do here, and it's pretty advanced. I won't go through all the details, but what I will say is that if you wanted to find more information, go to our fluidsurveys.com website. Right? As I said, this is a separate product, but the form builder is integrated within Review Room. Now, if you go to the help/contact section of fluidsurveys.com, there you will be able to scroll down and see a whole bunch of videos that talk about almost anything that you would want to do within your survey editor, including the advanced branching section. As a matter of fact, you can click on skipping and logic, and it'll show you all these videos about different things you can do within the branching interface. So you can also email your account manager and ask them, how to do something specific, and they can refer you to the particular video. So that's pretty much it in terms of what we'd like to discuss with you in terms of the form editor. If you have any further questions, do let us know, but let's see you in the next video. Thanks.